Everything works right now. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello guys, how are you? Hey, we're back again with another episode of the GD1A Sports Podcast. We had another busy week in basketball. A couple of teams, higher seeds losing to some lower seeds. Overall, pretty good week, I think, between boys and girls.
It was an awesome week for basketball. I have a lot of notes to go over.
Good. But I didn't do anything till this morning when I was watching the Supercross race, so I hope I've got enough to get us through. But anyway, guys, we have two guests with us today. We're excited to have these two on. Jason Hernandez and Rolly is what we're going to go with because he just told me his last name, but I know I'll screw it up even now. So from Green River High School, both have been playing great this year. From the numbers, you've been playing great for 4 years, but I haven't watched you at all until this year. Both of these young men have reached the 1,000-point career milestone this season, with Rolly just getting it this last week against Pinnacle. And Jason, yours came against, can you remind me who?
White Horse,
okay. And also a big game from both of you two this week, which we will cover a little more into depth here in a little bit. But we just kind of want to get to know you guys a little bit. Like we talked before, I'm Wacey. This is my co-host, Dally. We both grew up here in Taviona, both played high school ball here, so we just thought this would be fun to do for 1A as a podcast in whole, because 1A has never gotten any coverage. And so far it's been pretty good. But we'll just kind of roll through some of these questions, and you guys, we can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, whatever you guys want to do. So
okay.
With that being said, I'll just start with a question, and then you can each take your time however much you want and just answer, and we'll move on from there. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, we just, where and how did it all start for both of you two? Like what age were you guys both, did you grow up the whole time in Green River? Just kind of where and when did it all start for you?
Both of us probably probably around first grade to elementary school, recess.
Okay. Did you guys have a junior jazz? Have you guys always been to school in Green River?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys do the junior jazz when you were kids, junior high, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. So it's kind of the same as about everybody. A lot of the kids that play all the way through high school start in around second, third grade, somewhere in there. So for each one of you, who's been your main inspiration for basketball from the time you started up until now?
Yeah.
I'd probably have to say my brother, just because he's the one who kind of just brought the game to me, just taught me everything I really know right now.
Did he play at Green River too?
Yeah, he's
okay.
6 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Graduated in 2020.
2020, gotcha. So he was in the rough years of all the COVID stuff going on.
Yeah.
Then. Okay. What about you, Jason?
My brother as well. He's always just pushed me and tried to make me better than him.
Okay, and same with him. Did he play at Green River too?
Yeah, he graduated 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. What was his name?
Luis Hernandez.
Luis, okay. Gotcha. And what was your brother's name, Rolly?
It was Axel.
Axel. I don't remember either of those two names, but I was gone for a while, moved out to the city, we'll leave it at that, and so I missed out on quite a bit. But so another one we have is how do you guys handle a tough loss? Maybe a game that, whether it's a big rival or one that you're kind of expected to win and it just doesn't go your way. How do you handle that, and what's your mindset going into the next one?
Just try to forget about it and focus on the next game.
Do you ever find yourself, because both of you can shoot, so do you ever find yourself, on nights where you're struggling, maybe it's not falling so, like normal, do you ever find yourself getting in your own head and just kind of making your game worse, or are you able to just let each shot go and continue on with the next one?
There's some games like that, but most of the times we just try and trust the work we've already put in.
Yeah, that's good because sometimes, basketball, some of the biggest problems is in your head. We both coach junior high and trying to get into our kids, into their brains that so much basketball is mental, and if you can't get out of your own head, you're going to struggle. But it's hard teaching young kids that. All right, so we're going to do, we'll save this one for last so they can do our memories.
Okay.
So we'll skip that one. We kind of just hit that one. Is there a part of your game that each one of you feel like that you could be better at, or something that you do work at every day in practice? Anything in particular?
Probably my defense, like on-ball defense.
Okay.
I'd probably have to say just rebounding, because I have the high, I just don't crash hard enough.
Gotcha. Rebounding's a lot of effort. That's another thing we're trying to teach young kids. They don't want to, our kids, they think it'll just come to them, and they don't understand it's a lot of work to get rebounds.
Yeah, because right now, looking at your stats, Escalante, he is your high rebounder with 7.5 a game. And then Mendoza 6.4, and then Raleigh, you're at 5.3. So,
who's the kid that hit all the threes against us up here this year?
that was Raleigh.
No, he hit some too. But the
David.
David, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
had like
yeah,
7
yeah.
threes on us, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are all just such good shooters. Like I said, watching you guys, when you guys play a team against the zone, I feel like you guys are almost just licking your chops when you see a zone, because you guys are just such good shooters. And Hernandez, you're just so good at having a lot of focus on you on the point, because you play the point guard just so well. So, you get in those lanes and you kick it to all your teammates. It's fun to watch you guys. And I told Wacey that at the start of the season after watching a few of your games, like, you guys are the real deal this year. Like, if you guys keep clicking, you're going to make a run at the state tournament that probably a lot of teams aren't ready for, I'll be honest. So
Yeah, he was calling you guys the
under the radar.
under the radar team before the season. I think you guys had played 1 or 2 games maybe, but just kind of seeing, and Jason, for you, one thing that I told Coach Parsons this in our emails, I love to look at assists. And dude, there's so many games that you've got 10 plus assists, and I love seeing that kind of stuff, because not only can you score the ball and handle the ball, but it just shows me that you're not selfish either. You have no problem dishing it off, getting your other players, whether it's Rolly or some of the other guys, threes are inside. And so I've noticed in the past, it seems like 3 or 4 games you've had 10 or more assists, and I think that's awesome. I love a good pass almost better than a good 3.
And we love to see it too, because you're leading the team with 20.4 a game. Raleigh, you're right behind him at pretty much 18. So, yeah, for you guys to still just have the chemistry and putting up that many points with the assist totals, I mean, you guys got to pat yourself on the back a little bit. You guys are playing some awesome ball,
Does it show, has it updated his assists per game?
Let me look here. His 7.2. So, yeah, I mean,
7.2. That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good.
that's
7.2
just outstanding.
for high
and
school.
then Raleigh, you're 3.2. So, like I
Which,
said,
and 3.2 is not bad, but when you have a guy getting 7, a lot of people miss that 3.2. But 3.2 assists a game is extreme, in my opinion, is extremely good.
Oh yeah.
But like he said, when you guys have that many weapons, it's kind of easy, isn't it, to give the ball up, because you trust who it's going to either score or take the best shot they can get.
But also the other thing I love about you too is your defense. I mean, you're both up there with 3.5 steals a game. So, and a lot of players don't understand that to really get good offense, you got to have good defense. And to see both of you, well, that's why we got you on the screen. We wanted to talk to you guys, because you're doing everything to really carry your team on the defensive end, the rebounding end, the whole, every stat that basketball has, you guys are in it. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, let's go on to the next one. This is I feel like this is a question that little tiny kids ask, but it's one that everybody wants to know. Who's your guys' favorite basketball player? Anybody, maybe someone from your family in the past that you've just really admired, or even a professional, or you're just wondering who's your favorite player?
I'd probably have to go with Stephen Curry, just the way he plays and moves without the ball.
You and my boy would be best friends. This kid lives, sleeps, breathes Steph Curry. What about you, Jason?
Same thing, Steph Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys would do just fine at my house, I'll tell you what. I'm just glad you didn't say LeBron. That makes me happy. All right, let's go on here to the next. This kind of is the same as one question we already asked, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it may be different, it may be the same. Is there anyone in specific that you guys have paid extra attention to, watching them play, trying to learn how they do certain things and to try to, form your game around what they do?
Same thing, probably just Stephen Curry, just his off-ball movement, how he gets open, just how tightly he gets guarded every game.
Yeah.
Probably Jordan Poole, just how he gets to the rack every time.
I like that. I like it when you hear a player that's not front page every day, but he's being watched by someone. I like that answer.
Yeah.
You got something you want to add to that, or just
Nope.
keep going on? Okay. So, is there anybody, and maybe you guys, it's each other for you, maybe it's not, but is there someone in practice who pushes you guys to be better every day? Like maybe somebody that unintentionally or for a good purpose maybe gets under your skin or just tries to push you or anything like that every day in practice to make you get better?
Yeah, probably Jesus. He's always just bringing the energy to practice and making sure we're all working hard.
Yeah. Does he bring the same energy to the games too? Is he able to kind of get
Yeah.
you guys ready to go there too? That's another thing a lot of people don't look at. It gets overlooked a lot, is if you have a player on the team that can always bring the energy and get everybody ready to go, and it's and sometimes it only takes one guy and then everybody just follows suit. So that's pretty cool.
Especially if he's a sophomore and he's pushing you seniors. I mean, that's big, especially for your program after you guys leave. So, and I'm sure Coach Parsons seeing that, and he's loving that from him. So
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, outside of basketball, maybe in the off season or something like that, what do you guys do down there in Green River to keep yourselves happy and busy and enjoying life?
There's not really much to do, but most of the time I just go out, golf. That's
Do you guys
about
hunt
it.
at all? Do you guys hunt?
No, we don't.
No. I know a kid from Green River. I went to high school same time as him. We played ball against each other. Cody Webster, do you guys know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played ball against Cody, and we haven't talked for a few years, but we stayed in touch after school for a while. But I know he's big into lion hunting and outfitting, taking people. But I know him, and there was another kid, CJ Viteri?
Yeah.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew both of those two. CJ actually moved out to Orem same time I did, so we hung out quite a bit there too. But Green River's kind of like Tabby. There's really not a lot going on. If they're up here, it's either basketball or you're basically working. Like that's pretty much all there is to do. So let's see. Who do you guys think of or consider maybe your biggest rival, the one team that you just absolutely do not want to lose to no matter what?
It'll probably be Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Ever since like our freshman year, we've always just tried not to lose to them.
Okay. They're in Price, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So with you two both being seniors, what are your plans after high school? Have you guys thought about trying to play at the college level, or kind of started that process at all, or what are you thinking?
I haven't really started that process yet. I'm not sure what I'm thinking about doing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing as him.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you guys are such good players. If you guys, I think, wanted to go play ball somewhere, I guarantee you someone would love to have you on their team. So if you guys are leaning on that, I would pursue that if you guys are really maybe thinking about it, because you guys have the right mindset and you guys got the skills to do something, after high school. So if you guys if you guys do decide to do that, please let us know, because we would love to keep following you if you do decide to do something after
Definitely.
that.
And what's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work out, but if the option's there, I agree with him. If you guys have the opportunity, pursue it, because, you both definitely have what it takes.
Thank you.
Well, can you, that's basically all the questions we went over. You guys want to give us maybe your thoughts on the rest of the season and maybe looking ahead to the state tournament?
Just hoping we can make a run this year.
Do you, what's your away versus home games you've got left? How many, do you know?
We got 3 away and then 1 home.
Is your last one home?
Yeah. Second to last one is home.
Oh, okay.
Against Pinnacle, it looks like, is their last home game, or their last away game, sorry. Their last home game is against Escalante.
Okay.
So, but we're coming down to, last few weeks of ball, and you boys are, I'm sure, like I said, Coach Parsons has got you boys ready for the state tournament, because, me and Wacey's been talking, we're excited to watch you guys, because everyone's kind of leaning on Wayne and the Rich Rebels right now, and so we're excited to see what Green River is going to do, and we're excited to watch you guys for sure.
Well, I know from what I've seen during the season this year, I don't think there's any one team that I would say, they're going to win, because there's so many of you guys out there that, if you show up, play your type of game on any given night, you can beat any team out there, and I think there's several teams like that. So I think the state tournament's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah.
And on that, if you guys will be there, and we're obviously not going to interfere with, you're there to focus on one thing, and we understand that, but if there is some free 5-10 minutes, maybe we could meet you guys face to face and just kind of chat again, on what's been going on from now and to that point. So if that's something you guys were interested in, Jason, I'll keep your number and maybe just text you guys sometime out there at the tournament. And like I said, don't feel obligated, because we do not want to take away from your focus of what you're there for. But if you got a few minutes, just sit down and say, hey, what's up? And maybe face to face and shake hands, so.
Yeah.
But do you guys, you got any other thoughts you want to share, or any questions for us or anything like that?
Nah.
You got anything else for him, Dal?
No, I just want to say, boys, like I said, you're 7th in the RPI right now, so you're really in a good spot. It looks like you'll probably have a home playing game, I guess is what you'd say, for the tournament. So you guys have set yourself up pretty good, and I can't wait to watch you boys, here in about 3 weeks. So.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to end on one more thing. I just want to tell you guys both congratulations again on the 1,000 points. That's a heck of an achievement. Not a lot of people get there, and it's just, my hat's off to you guys. Well done.
Yeah, and I guess, did they have a memory for us?
Oh, yeah, we did skip the one question. We got to end on one more, guys. We have our little memories on the hardwood segment. I completely forgot about that. So if you would each just take however much time you need and give us one of your favorite memories, we can close out after that.
It'd probably be starting with my brother my sophomore year.
Like starting on the same team with him, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, what position did he play? Was he a guard or a big guy?
Yeah, he was like a shooting guard.
Okay, so you guys kind of play the same type of ball then?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Was he as fast as you?
I think he was a little quicker.
I don't know.
Yeah, man, that's impressive, because you're pretty fast.
I want to see some highlights.
When you guys came up here, Dally and I, we call the games here at home, and we're both like, holy crap, that kid is fast. First step, boom, gone. What about you, Rolly?
I'd probably have to say maybe like scoring my actual first point on varsity starting my sophomore year against Wayne.
Against Wayne?
Yeah.
So you didn't start varsity until your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Did you play varsity in your freshman year?
Not really.
So you basically got your 1,000 points in 3 years, pretty much.
Both of you.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I'm even more impressed, because that's that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, man, yeah, if you guys don't have anything for us, we appreciate you taking this, I don't know what we've been, 20 minutes to sit down with us and just kind of get to know you a little bit. And we want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of your season and at the state tournament. And like I said, hopefully we can meet up down there for a few minutes.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right, guys, thank you. Take it easy.
All right, you as well.
Later. Oh, you were in the screen.
I was there, boy.
The whole time we had those two on, I was afraid you weren't on there. I was like, dang it, they're missing Dally. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, you can tell they might not be the most talkative, but man, they are ball players, man.
They you can see that they're humble.
Yes.
You know, they're not, and a lot of times when you have somebody that's humble, they don't really say a whole lot, you know, and everybody's different, but no, I enjoyed that. Just kind of, talking to them a little bit, getting their thoughts on things. And while we're at it, I did ask, let me get the email here. I asked Coach Parsons if he wanted to put together a little, thoughts on the season type of thing and moving forward. So I'll read what he wrote here. He said, "Our season has been a really good one. I scheduled a lot of tough games to help us prepare for our region and postseason. There were 2 or 3 preseason games that I'd like to have back. I thought that they were very winnable games, but losing the close games has helped us prepare for what lies in store for the Pirates. Our team is playing some great basketball at this point, and I feel that there are some things that we still need to fix to be ready for postseason play. This coming week is a busy week for us as we have 3 games, and the Region 19 Championship will be this Friday in Monticello. We will be ready for the challenge that lies ahead. As far as the state tournament goes, I believe that there are a big handful of teams that have a chance at winning it all. I definitely believe that our team is in that mix. Jason Rowley and Christian Mendoza have been great leaders for the team and moving the program in the right direction for the future."
And
So-
I completely agree 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, at the first of the season, they were honestly the team that caught my eye, so...
And I've skipped the last little bit, and I just want to read this because we have heard this a lot, and it didn't really, I guess, dawn on me. I mean, I knew, but he just, he says, "Thanks for your hard work and getting the 1A ball the attention it deserves." And how many times have we heard that about, it's so good to have something for 1A?
I mean, every week I've heard it from multiple different people, and not even people from Tabby either.
Yeah, oh no,
so.
more from out of town than from here. But the reason I wanted to mention that is because we want to thank you guys for continuing to follow us. That's the only reason that we wanted to do this, is to try to give you guys some insight on schools and teams that never get coverage anywhere else.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can move on to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah, and there was a lot of good games and a lot of players that were just outstanding this week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I've got 5 on the girls and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 on the boys as far as the top performers. So once you hit those games, I'll just kind of throw them in there too.
But yeah, I wanted to start with the Des News rankings. So the Wayne Badgers are still sitting at number 1, and like I said, playing awesome. Peterson, I know, has got to be in some of your stuff there because he has been playing just phenomenal. But yeah, so the Wayne Badgers number 1. The Rich Rebels on Des News has climbed clear to number 2. And
really?
After watching them play this weekend, I can see why. The Manila Mustangs are number 3, the Panguitch Bobcats number 4, and the Paiute Thunderbirds number 5, and that's the Des News boys.
And I think Paiute lost a couple of games this last week, didn't they? Or at least one.
Like I said, there was so many games. I will confirm that when I get through them.
I think
but then looking at the RPI, like I said, this don't surprise me. But the Rich Rebels, number 1.
In the RPI, they got them at number 1.
They've climbed the ranks just like we kind of figured. So they're number 1 right now. The Wayne Badgers are at number 2. The Manila Mustangs are number 3. Paiute 4. Panguitch 5. Bryce Valley 6. Green River's sitting at 7. Valley's at 8, Tabiona at 9, and Tinnick's at 10. So That is your RPI for the boys' side. And
does it have records there with him? I can't remember.
I don't have the records on here.
That's all right. I was just curious.
But
sorry, Riley, if you're listening, we don't have the records this time.
I got the records on Des News' side. The Wayne Badgers are 15-4. The Rich Rebels are 13-4. The Manila Mustangs are 16-2. The Panguitch Bobcats are 11-10. And the Paiute Thunderbirds are 14-5. So that's on the Des News side,
which is probably pretty close. If anything, it's not got the last game in there, but it's probably pretty close to that.
But anyways, yeah. So that's what your boys' side looks like. I mean, we said Rich was gonna Rich, and they've climbed right back to number 1. And from what it's looking like, they're probably going to be in that number 1 seed come state tournament time.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep playing the way they have been, and you never know, Wayne's right there too, but I think both teams keep playing the way they have been. It's probably going to end up being one of those two.
Yeah.
It'll be those two teams in the top 2 would be my guess.
Yes.
By the time the tournament comes, so.
And then looking at the girls' side for the Des News rankings, the Tabiona Tigers are still number 1. The Rich Rebels did beat them this last weekend, but it was a dang good game. It was awesome, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, the Tabiona Tigers are at 17-1. Wayne Badgers at 14-2. The Rich Rebels are number 3 at 13-5. The Panguitch Bobcats at 13-5, and the Valley Buffaloes are at 11-4 at your 5th spot in the Des News rankings. When you come over to the RPI, Tabiona's number 1, Wayne's number 2, Panguitch is number 3, Rich is number 4, Valley number 5, Whitehorse 6, Paiute 7, Manila 8, Monument Valley 9, and Milford sitting at 10. So yeah, that is your girls' side on the RPI. So the way I kind of set up my deal here is I kind of put all the boys' games first, and then we can go into the girls.
So do you want me to do these as you do the games?
Yeah, I think so, because I think I put about dang near every game on here.
Okay.
You'll just have to remind me if I do miss one.
I'll just scroll down.
But there was so many good games played, and maybe some of the games that were a little lopsided, but some of these players have just been insane lately.
Yeah.
You know, the first game I got picked up here was between Wayne and Water Canyon, and my goodness, Peterson, 33 points, just, and like I said, this is just one of them, but Peterson, 33 points with a 3-pointer and 7 rebounds, and then Robin's right behind him, 16 points, 8 rebounds, Martinez, 9 points, 6 rebounds, Brown with 6, Jackson with 3, Brinkerhoff with 2, and I'm not sure how you say that last name, How's
this?
Pauuu.
Oh yeah, I saw that
5.
one too. I'm not real sure.
Sorry if I messed that name up, but he had 5. But on the Water Canyon side, though, Barlow had 22 points with 6 3-pointers, so he had a dang good shooting game there. But like I said, the Badgers they're playing so strong when Peterson's putting up the numbers like he's putting up.
Well, and that is the game that I picked for him. He had another game where he had 32 or 34. It was a point different either way. But in that particular game, like I said, I chose that one. And to go with his 33 points and 7 rebounds, as you mentioned, he also had 6 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks.
Yeah. So he's just, I mean, he's clicking just everywhere right now. Just playing so awesome. But on the Water Canyon side, Blackmore, he had 17, Simpson 4, Jessup 3, Hammond 2, and Andrade with 1. So on that was a good game for Peterson. And then the next game I got here is Green River and Pinnacle. This is still boys. And Rolando, 34 points for Raleigh. I mean,
And that's the game, as we talked to him, where he hit the 1,000-point mark.
Yeah, I mean, he was feeling it that game, and like I said, for him being so humble about it, when, you know, I feel like he needs to really just, because I don't even think when I played I scored that many points. So,
well, and he had the 30. This was another one of my performance of the week, but he also had 10 rebounds and 5 blocks, and I can't remember. It's either 2 or 3 assists. I forgot to write it down in those boxes, but
and then with him having 34, Hernandez had 20. Jesus, like they said, pushes their team. He had 20. Mendoza with 11, Quintana with 2, and Mendez with 2. And then on the Pinnacle side, Vigil had 7, Contreras had 7, Howell with 6, Hayes 6, Nevers with 5, Howell with 5, and Alamillo with 2. So,
well, I wanted to add too on Hernandez in that game with his 20 points, had 12 assists. Like we were talking to him in our interview there, I've noticed, and I want to say at least the last 4 or 5 games that he's played, he's either had like 10 or more assists. I mean, I could be wrong, but I know there's been several of his past few games where he's really up there in the assist column.
Yeah, so, talking to them boys, realizing how humble they are, they are just way good ball players, and the stat sheet just shows it. The next game I had pulled up was Valley beat Paiute 62-51. That was a Region 20 game. On the stat sheet, House has just been playing so well too. I mean, 23 points in that game with 4 3-pointers. We knew from the very start of the season House was a shooter. I mean, if he plays well, it seems like Valley is just they're clicking when House plays so well. But then right behind him, Chamberlain had 13 with 3 3-pointers. P. Harris had 12 with 2 3-pointers. H. Harris had 10, and Baird had 1. But then you go to the Paiute side, Montague had a way good game there too with 21 points. Glebe had 12, Eliason had 11, and Myers with 5, and then G. Eliason with 2. So even on the Paiute side, just they're playing so good too. And like we've already talked about, the boys side, it's gonna just depend on who shows up at the state tournament.
Who won that game?
Valley won that game.
That might be the one I was thinking of when I said Paiute had just lost. It might have been that one.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a good win for them. Then looking at this next game, Bryce Valley and Panguitch, and Bryce Valley ended up getting Panguitch on that one, 61-53. That, like I said, that was another Region 20 game.
And I noticed, do you have their stats? Because it seemed to me like there was quite a few kids from Bryce Valley that scored in double digits, or at least the scoring was more spread out.
Yeah, so on Bryce Valley's end, Gray had 12, Perez had 11, Lopez had 11, Shanoff had 10, Syrat had 9, Moreno had 4, and Clark had 4. So scoring all over the place when it come to the Mustangs to help them get that win.
And that's a big win for Bryce Valley too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Panguitch is one of those teams down there in kind of that southern-ish region that everybody, I think, wants to beat Panguitch. And Panguitch is always very competitive and very good. So that's a big game for Bryce Valley.
Yeah, and then I have the Des News stats, so I don't have Verga's rebounds. Did you find his rebounds?
I can get it while you're going over
but
it. But
Verga, 16 points, and I know he probably had a bunch of rebounds. I just didn't get the stat on that. But Ramsey had 16, Bentley with 6, Ingolstead with 5, Birmingham had 3, Bailey with 3, Ramsey with 2, and Barney with 2. But the one thing about that game I was noticing, I mean, there was a few threes made, but not a ton like how some of these other games has, where some of these players are hitting 3, 4. Yeah. I mean, I think between both teams there was only, let me just look here, only 8 threes between both teams was made in that. So it was definitely probably a battle of going to the rim and different things. So.
And if it was 8 between both teams, I'm showing Panguitch hit 4, so they each hit 4 threes.
Yeah.
Verga had 9 rebounds to go with his 16 points.
So, like I said, another great game for Verga as well. But, yeah, Bryce Valley, a good win for them.
And Tayson Ramsey for Panguitch, he had 16 as well. So him and Verga tied for, leading scorer on the Bobcats side. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, that's a great win for Bryce Valley to pick up, especially, later in the season, trying to find that momentum to ride into the state tournament, and I feel like that's a good team for them to do that with,
And then the next game I had pulled up, Milford finally got them quite a few wins this week. They ended up beating Escalante 46-42, which I know is a good win for them because they have been struggling a little bit. But on the Milford's end. Sullivan, we've said it before, he's a really good ball player. He had 17 points with 2 3-pointers. Then Barnes had 11 points with a 3. Merriweather with 8. Saavedra had 5, and Kessler with 5. So, and once again, they don't like putting the rebound stat on Des News for some reason.
Some teams only put the points in there.
But anyways, on Escalante side, Lyman had 14. Frischnet had 10. Cotlum had 7. Griffin had 6, and A. Griffin had 5. So, like I said, it was a good win for Milford. Hopefully build them a little bit of confidence, because I know they're going to have a playing game on the road. So hopefully they can get things rolling these next couple weeks, and hopefully we see them at the state tournament. But it's gonna take some hard work for them.
Oh yeah, definitely,
for sure. So the next game I had pulled up was Manila. I think they had a chip on their shoulder playing Tinnick. They ended up beating Tinnick 64-49. Of the stats on that game, Bear, just a great game from him. 26 points from him. Chowning, we've talked about him quite a bit. He was playing just so well as well. Had 17 points with 2 3-pointers. Goodman with 12 and Hughes with 8. So 4 guys kind of just rolled with everything in that game against the Miners.
Well, and Chowning also had 10 assists. That was another one of my top performances of the week. So.
Yeah, and like I said, I've kind of I know you like to go with Max Prep, so I've been trying to cover the Des News.
I had to get some of mine off of Des News too. So,
but and then looking at the Tinnick side, Jameson, I was going to mention him too. He hit his 1,000-point game as well.
Yes, he did.
And so we just want to say congratulations, Hagen Jameson, because you've accomplished something that. Well, we've said that it's a hard achievement, but it seems like there's a lot of kids doing it this year. But it is still such an achievement to get 1,000 points.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he's one of my top performances, but I'm not going to say it yet because it was in a different game that they played, so I'll save that. But
yeah, in that game he had 14 points with 1 3-pointer. B. Jones had 11, Hansen with 10. Bigler had 7, Condor with 6, and Terry with 2. And Condor had 2 3-pointers, and we know that Condor can shoot the ball really well too. So,
see, and one thing that I think, it seems like to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like if Hagen gets around that 20-point mark, I think they have a really good shot at winning. And I mean, he wasn't far from it, but it just seems like, like we've said before, he's obviously a key focus for the opposing team to shut down.
Yes.
But when they came up here, he was well defended, and I think I had mentioned that his comments after the game, he understood that the Tigers did their job on him up here, but I think they held him to 6, which is not common for him to only get 6 points, but I think for the Miners, if he can come out and get around that 20 points and get, he's always getting a few assists a game and the rebounds and stuff, so I think that gives the Miners a really good chance to be competitive at state if he can get around that 20 mark.
But yeah, Manila ended up getting them. The next game I have pulled up was Wayne and Wendover. Wayne, like I said, handled Wendover, but the reason I looked at this game was Peterson. Just like I said, went off again, 32 points with 5 3-pointers.
That was the other one I looked at and just decided to put this one down because they were both pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, whatever Peterson's doing right now, I mean, he's getting
ready for state.
Yes, he is. And he is playing so awesome. But yeah, 32 points for him, 5 3-pointers. Robbins had 14. Martinez had 10 with 2 3-pointers. Payu, I hope I'm saying that right, 9 points for him. Jackson with 7, Howells with 4, Brown with 4, Wood with 3, and Brinkerhoff with 2. On the Wendover side, Lopez led them with 14 points with a 3-pointer. Gomez with 11, Tom with 7, Sabelos with 3, and Gonzalez with 2. So we know the Wendover has been struggling this season, but from watching their coach, I see good things coming out of him because he's always wanting his boys to succeed and keep pushing to always never give up. So.
Well, and we just talked about that the other night, you and I, down, after one of our games, and that has been living rent-free in my mind since we played them here. Just watching him, didn't sit down the entire game, telling his kids don't give up. It's constantly running through my mind. I just think that's so cool that he is that committed to try to push those boys, even if the game's not going their way. Let's keep doing what we can,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Awesome. Then the next game I have down, Milford, like I said, they got him another win against Water Canyon. They ended up winning that one 59-55.
Did you already go over the Wayne and Water Canyon game? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
I have one after you finish this I wanted to mention.
Okay. Sullivan, like I said, played really well, 18 points for him. Kessler with 10 points, Barnes with 6 points, Merriweather with 5, Lambeth with 2, Ashworth with 2. On Water Canyon side, they was shooting pretty good from the 3. Jay Simpson had 15 with 4 3-pointers. Allred had 15 with 5 3-pointers. Blackmore had 12. LeBoran had 5. Hammond with 4. Andrade with 2. And Allred with 2. So some good 3-point shooting from their side, but Milford, they didn't shoot. Barnes was the only one that had a 3 in that game, so they must have just been attacking the rim, and they ended up getting that win, which was really good to see for Milford.
Yeah. So real quick, bouncing back again, that Hammond that you just mentioned, when they played Wayne, now he only scored 2 points, but as I was scrolling through, I looked over. This kid had 33 rebounds.
Holy cow. Yeah. And I wish Des News would have put that on so I could see that.
I put that in my top performances. I mean, yes, I know he only scored 2 points, but I saw 33 rebounds. So I thought, you've got to be kidding
That's
me.
Got to be a record book
It's got to be right up in there somewhere.
Well, I hope their coach is going to get that locked in so we can maybe see if he's in the record book.
As long as that was reported correct, because I did a double take. I had to scroll over and make sure I was reading the, because sometimes it's 33% or something.
Yeah.
No, it said 33 rebounds. So
wow.
If that is correct, instantly that stuck out to me, and I thought that's got to go on my top performances, because like we've said before, the game of basketball is not only about scoring. And you have a kid come out, and yes, they lost the game, against Wayne, but 33 rebounds, to me, that's insane.
I'm surprised he didn't have more points than if he got that many. I hope it's right. I hope too. There isn't a missed typo there, because that's insane to do. I mean, because I know in the girls' side, if you had that, you're in like the top, I want to say 4 or 5.
Well, Camby's in there with 31.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what place she's in.
But still, I hope that's correct. I hope that wasn't a missed typo, because that is insane.
Well, I've got it right here, and I'm going to double check now, but I know I looked a couple of different times. Yeah, it says right here, Greg Hammond, 2 points. Oh, no.
Please tell me you said that right.
I think they did put that in wrong.
Oh, really?
I think they did.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Because now when I'm looking, now it says 1 offensive rebound and 2 defensive, but it says 33 rebounds.
Oh,
well. So I think they must. Well, Hammond, I tried, buddy. If you listen to this, I tried, man. I really thought you had 33 rebounds, and I thought, holy cow, that is something. Well, dang it. I wish I'd have caught that first, because now I just kind of got myself all amped up.
Well, and like I said, we ain't editing this, so April Fool's on you guys as well.
And, like I always tell you, Dal, it's just a good thing we're not professionals.
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
But anyways, we can move to the next game I got here.
I was stoked about that.
The next game I put here was the Rich Rebels came to Taviona and ended up getting that win 63-43. And, that game, it was kind of tough to watch because there was so much energy in the girls' game, because we knew the stakes were high. The Rebels wanted to beat the number 1 Tigers on the girls' side, so the energy was just insane. And then the boys' game kind of came around, and then it was almost like, someone blew the candle out in the gym. It was just
quiet.
It was just quiet, and even the coaching staff and the players just didn't look like they were amped up, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the stats, Olsen he was shooting deep, and he had 4 3-pointers, Olsen. Jackson Olsen.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking you were going. Yeah, you're right. He was taking some deep threes.
deep threes. I mean, 3-4 feet behind the line and putting them in. But he was the high scorer with 14 points. Giles, he had some tough contested shots. He ended up getting 10 points with 2 3-pointers.
Well, and Strand ended up getting in foul trouble early too.
Yeah.
So he had to sit a pretty good portion of that game.
Which was very tough. Because, like I said, the Rich Rebels are just so good. The Tigers needed their stars in there to try and keep up with the scoring. But, yeah, so Giles had 10 with 2 3-pointers. Thomas had 9 with 2 3-pointers. A little slower night for Rocky Rhodes, 8 points. And then the freshman Brex Rhodes came in and got 2 points near the end. But yeah, a little slower night for Rocky. I mean, I know that everyone's really focused on him because he kind of just came out of the first of the season just scoring insane.
Yeah, he was averaging 20 through their first 6 or 7 games.
But, like we said, everyone goes through slumps, and I know Rhodes is that type of player where he's going to go to the next game and he's just going to, play really well.
And speaking of slow nights, I thought Case had a slow night too for 9 points.
Yeah.
He's had a few games where he's been up around that 15, shooting the ball a little better. But Rich was playing great defense on him too, So I mean, they know coming in who's going to shoot the three, so they're doing their job. They've got their
and there was even a few times, even though Rich was up, and Thomas and Giles was hitting them threes, Coach Cornea was not happy. He called that timeout, and he was getting after his boys for just letting them shoot the ball and making it. And you got to hand it to him. He could have just, but he wants to see them boys, not take his foot off the pedal.
Well, and like we were talking at the game that night, in high school basketball, anything can happen.
Yes.
You take, and he knows that that Tabby has, a few shooters that in the blink of an eye, you could be right back into the ball game.
Yes.
So I think that's what that was. He was calling the timeout saying, guys, what are we doing here? If you let up on the gas here, we might find ourselves in a spot we don't want to be in,
But yeah, and then looking at Rich's stats, Ridge Lundgren, man, 26 points with 6 3-pointers. And his 3-pointers were not, he had quite a few open ones, but he hit a few pretty tough shots too. And he's just so fast at going to the rim too. He's got so many moves.
He's just smooth.
Yeah.
Whether it's the shot or off the dribble, or remember that one play in particular where both like that was the fastest spin move I think.
Oh yeah, seen. I was just about to say his one spin move he has is just, I don't know that there'd be some college guys probably have a tough time guarding it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's just not much you can do. He's in one of my top performances too, not in the Tabby game, but I just was very impressed with how smooth he plays the game, and his shot is just picture perfect. He played a great game.
Yeah, he played awesome. And it was, like I said, it was awesome to watch them because we haven't been able to watch them, and to finally see why the stat board has been getting filled up. Yeah, Lundgren's just an awesome player to watch.
Well, and even Jet Holmes shot the ball well. I'm sure you've got his points there. He had 3 threes, I believe.
But while we're on Lundgren, I did want to mention, too, he hit his 1,000-point game as well. I did put that on our Instagram, and it's got a lot of views. A lot of people has been sharing that, and I think it's up to almost 1,700 people have seen that. So a lot of people follow Ridge and are watching his game, and there's a reason why. So, but yeah, and then Carter Scott, like I said, he just shoots the ball so well too. He only had 10 with 2 3-pointers, but when he had the opportunity, they were going in.
Well, so. And when Ridge is able to hit 6, and Jet hit 3.
Yeah.
Scott really didn't need to hit a lot, but the ones he did, he missed his. I remember in the first half, he missed 2 that were wide open, and I don't think the score had really gotten too out of hand at that point, because I remember telling you we're kind of lucky he missed those 2 that he did miss, because those are shots he doesn't miss, but he's.
And then, like I said, Holmes came in, 9 points with the 3 3-pointers, just shot the ball so well, and he didn't. Like I said, when he shoots his threes, he's usually very smart with his shooting. So
I don't think. Yeah, he didn't rush him. He didn't take a bad shot. The ones he took, he was wide open. He was set. And while we're on him, I feel like I have to give him a shout out here because Jet was rocking one heck of a stash.
Oh yeah.
And Jet, if you listen, looking good, bro. Keep it going.
Yeah. And then Weston, another player I was just very, very impressed with, came off the bench, and he's just not scared to take it to the rim. Right, coming off the bench, he played like he was a starter.
Well, and that's another thing we talked about. It was the first possession that he checked in. He got the ball, pump fake, drove hard to the hole, and got fouled. And we both were like, this kid just came off the bench. But he, like you said, came in just as if he was a starter and had been in there the whole time. And, we did have Coach Cornea tell us, or it was Cornea or Holmes, one of them.
I think it was Holmes.
That said that he could be a starter. He very well could be a starter, but they like to have someone to bring that spark off the bench, and it sounds like kind of that's what they use him for, and I can see why.
Yeah, I definitely can see why, because he played way awesome. And like I said, I don't have the rebounds down. I know there was some good rebounds, especially for this next player, Fawn's back. He only had 5 points with 1 3, but I know he got a lot of. It seemed like he got a lot of rebounds in that game.
Just his presence in there is huge.
Yes.
Because he's a good big guy. He's got good footwork. He, like you said, crashes the boards. Just having his presence in there is big for the Rebels.
And then the next one, Carter Grohl, he only had 4 points, but you can tell he's an athlete. We were talking about how he is top 20 in football for, do you remember the position?
I think it said he was a linebacker.
Linebacker, so in the entire state, that's just not the 8-man or whatever. They have him top, I believe he's 18 or 19.
It was 19, I think is what it was.
And like I said, in the entire state for football. And you could see he is just a really athletic, just a good athlete for the Rebels.
It looks like Rich didn't get their rebounds on Max Prep either, so I'm not sure what they had.
And then, but yeah, Grohl had 4, and then Wasden came in with 2. So overall, it was awesome to watch them play because, in my opinion, they are definitely deserving that number 1 spot.
Oh, yeah, they're a top-tier team.
Yes, for sure. And then the next game I had was the Taviona Tigers went to Wendover and beat them 51-34. Rhodes, like I said, came back, had 17 points in that game. Olsen had 15 with 3 3-pointers. Thomas had 9. Giles had 8, and Grail got 2 in that game. So, and on the Wildcats end, Lopez had 14, Gomez with 13, Tom with 3, Gonzalez with 2, and Bateman with 2. So
Dallas must have been working on that this morning, so when I looked earlier, there weren't any stats on there.
But I was really glad to see, because I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to.
But I was really glad to see Rocky kind of got himself rolling again and got him up around that 17, in that 17 area. So, yeah, that was a good kind of win for them after playing the Rebels.
Loss.
Yeah. The next game I have was Monticello got them a good win against Escalante, 66-60. Looking at their stats, Keys was played really well. He had 15 points with 3 3-pointers. Mac had 13. K Young had 12. C Young had 11. K Nilsson had 10. Felix with 4 and Taylor with 1. So kind of scoring all over the board for the Buckaroos in that game. On the Escalante side, Cotlum, he had 23 points with 1 3-pointer. So, Cotlum, I believe, Jay Cotlum. I hope
Cottam?
Is it Cottam? Is that how you say it?
Cottam's a pretty popular name. I think it's Cottam.
Well, like I said, we ain't professionals. But yeah, he had a great game with 23 points. Griffin came in, got 12. Frischnet had 9 with 1 3-pointer. Lyman had 6, A. Griffin had 6, and Trainer had 4. So, but like I said, that was a good win for Monticello, because I think that puts them above 50. Yeah, so they're 9-8 now, from what I have here. Escalante, like I said, they're a little slow start for them. They're only 2-7, so they haven't played as many games as everyone else. I was going to say
only 9 games, yeah.
But a good win for Monticello. The next game I have here, I'm sure you have this in your top performances, but Tinnick didn't have their stats in on this one, so I only have the Rich Rebels side. But Rich ended up beating Tinnick 70-52, and Carter Grohl had 10, Holmes had 5, Weston with 5, Carter Scott had 10, Fonsback with 3, but Ridge Lundgren, man, 37 points. It was just another heck of a game for Lundgren.
And that was one of my top performances was his.
Yeah,
37.
because 37 points, and we know the Miners are not a bad team.
No.
And so to see him, like I said, Manila, I believe he had 34. Then he comes to Taviona and he has 26, and then he goes to Tinnick and has 37. I mean,
well, and it was the day after he just came here and shot the ball well, scored the points, so I'm sure he was riding that momentum right into the next night.
But yeah, he's just, I mean, Lundgren, you just got us speechless over here, that's for sure. The next game I wanted to look at was Milford got them another win, like I said, against Bryce Valley. Oh, sorry, now I'm switching to the girls, sorry.
Okay, well, I got a couple more top performances real quick then before we move on to that. So there was one here, we haven't talked a lot about them. There hasn't been a lot there hasn't been a lot put on for us to go off of. But Mount Vernon and Telos played, and I don't know how to say this kid's name, so I'm going to do my best. I think it's Joachim Bakula. Again, I that's a tough one, but he had 35 points with 16 rebounds. So I felt like that was a pretty solid game. He had 5 threes in that game. They did beat Telos. I don't remember the score, but they did beat them. And then another top performance, my last one, was Hagen Jameson. They played Salt Lake Academy, and he had another triple-double. He had 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Yeah.
So I figured that was worthy of mentioning. That's I'm aware of, second triple-double this season. And but like we said, he's very capable of that. So.
Like I said, Jameson's the real deal. He's, like I said, he hit his 1,000-point game. He's definitely what every coach is looking at. I believe there's been quite a few teams box and chase him a lot. So for him to still be putting up the numbers, it is impressive to watch Jameson. So is that all you have on the boys'
For the boys,
end?
yep.
All right, now we can roll over to the girls' side. This is where I had Milford got the win over Bryce Valley, 37-32. And then looking at that game, for Bryce Valley, Lopez had 12, Vasquez had 9, Syra had 8, and Meekum had 3. On Milford's end, Williams had 9, McMullen had 9, Cedillo had 8, Carney had 8, Wilden with 5, Dalton 2, and Beebe with 2. But usually we're used to seeing McMullen and them, pushing up into that 20-point area. But all the girls was just scoring just the ball kind of all over the place. So it was really good to see Milford get that win against Bryce Valley with not one girl kind of taking over. So moving on to the next game. Panguage ended up beating Valley 31-28. In that game, Anderson had 12, Franklin had 9, Jennings had 4, Roundy with 2, and Crofts with 1. Owens, she was the high scorer in that game with 12 points with 2 3-pointers, which we know she can shoot the ball so well. Yardley had 6, Torgerson with 6, Miller with 3, Hatch with 3, and Edwards with 1, which that was kind of a slow game for Tate Miller.
How many did she have?
She only had 3 is what I got her down for.
And I think when I was looking on Max Prep, she only had a handful of rebounds too, so yeah, pretty slow game. Maybe, I don't know, could have been foul trouble maybe, or maybe just an off night.
But either way, the Bobcats ended up getting that win, which we have said Valley's a really good squad, so it didn't surprise me that they give Panguage a really good game. So they're definitely, I think I said they were in that 5th spot.
I think so.
I could be wrong, but like I said, their girls team's good, and if you got them at the state tournament, you better be ready to play. So the next game I got here was Monument Valley beat Bryce Valley 69-46. But right here, Cly, 22 points, and I don't have her for any three-pointers, so everything she was doing was inside that three-point line. Black Mountain had 16 with 3 three-pointers. Ateen had 14. Hunt had 8, and Cly had 5, and White had 4. On Bryce Valley's side, Vasquez again had a really good game, 18 points with 5 three-pointers. I mean, we're saying this like 4 or 5 three-pointers like it's nothing, but you know, if you had
nowadays it kind of.
But it's like if you get 4 or 5 threes in a game, like you are tearing it up. Really, like I feel like you're not getting enough credit when you are hitting that many threes.
But I think the reason why is when you and I played 4 or 5 threes a game. You know, it didn't happen as often as it does now.
Yeah,
there's so many kids now and so many teams that they take. I would dare bet double or triple the threes that we used to take in a game. You know, so it's a lot of kids hitting 4 and 5 threes, both on the boys and girls side.
Yeah, but so that was a good win for Monument Valley. The next game I got here was Wayne went to Wendover, and the main reason I looked at this one. AJ Van Dyke, 36 points with 4 three-pointers. And I'm sure she was in your top.
She's one of my top performances.
But you know, getting to know AJ now, following her a lot, seeing some of her highlights, she's just still playing so strong. Even though, like I said, she's kind of the focus of the Wayne Badgers. But
before you move on to the other players, I'll finish her stat line here. With the 36 points, she had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 steals, and 2 blocks.
Yeah, so she just had a heck of a good game. But then right behind her, Torgerson had a really good game with 19 points. And then behind her, Morrill, 6. Snediger had 3, Jacobson with 3, and Wood with 2. And then on Wendover's side...
Wood with 2?
Yeah,
so she didn't really score all that much in that game.
But then this was the other reason I really wanted to talk about this game is Millie Hicks, 24 points for her, which we know she can do that every night. She's just a really good ball player.
Well, and she's one of my top performances too. Even though they lost with the 24 points, she had 19 rebounds.
Yeah, and I was just about to say I didn't have the rebounds, but I'm sure she got a bunch. Mm-hmm. But if she got 19, that is way impressive, especially against the Wayne Badgers. Mm-hmm. So, Hicks, if you listen to this podcast, we want you to know we think you are a great ball player as well. Alvarez ended up having 7, Ramirez 6, Du Bois had 6, Stewart with 2, Robles with 2, and Hernandez with 2. So, it was a lot of it was just from Hicks in that game to try and keep him with the Badgers, but you know, with Van Dyke's 36 points, it's hard to...
I don't remember, did you say the score? Because I think Wayne got him by...
Yeah, it was 69-49, so so that put the Badgers up to 14-2 on the season, and the Wildcats there at 9-8, so... The next game I have down was honestly the game of the week for sure on the girls' end, and that was our hometown Taviona Tigers against the Rich Rebels, and the Rich Rebels ended up getting them 53-49. But man, that game honestly came down to who had kind of the better just possessions near the end of the game.
And free throws.
Yeah, and obviously free throws, but I mean, it just came down to who wanted it a little bit more than the other. I know seemed like there was a couple big threes made near the end, or I could be wrong.
Well, I show that Molly Weston had 3 threes, Dottie Morse had 1, and Lundgren, Kada Lundgren had 1 3.
Yeah, but on the Tiger end, though, I thought they played really well. They definitely was putting a lot of pressure on the Rebels the entire game. But the one thing about the Rebels, after seeing their squad, they got a lot of tall girls.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a big team. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing the one senior, I believe it was White. I think she's a senior. She come in and everyone kept asking me, who is this girl? She is tall.
She is a senior.
And she didn't do much on the scoring end, but she had 9 rebounds in that game. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like she's probably one that doesn't get talked about a lot, but is as tall as she is, and she guards the paint really well. But yeah, that made a hard presence because there was times where Bella would kind of get down in there, get past in that zone, and she'd try to go up, and them big girls were down there. It kind of made it tough for her. But
Well, and you said, oh crap, I just hit a button. You said didn't do much on the scoring end. She didn't have a single point.
yeah,
But the reason I want to say that is I hope that she understands. Yeah, you didn't score, but you still did your job on defense and rebound.
but yeah, them 9 rebounds, them are huge for the Rebels.
Absolutely, especially in a game like that.
Because that game came down to whoever kind of had the most possessions, you know, with getting rebounds and not turning the ball over. But
You know, and I don't know her, and I don't know her mentality, but a lot of times kids get frustrated when they don't score. You know, you'll ask them, oh, how was the game? Oh, I played like crap, or not very good, or, you know, because I didn't score. I only scored 2, but like I said, I hope she understands that that's still, you know, and the Rebels, I'm sure they could have used some points from her, but it's not like they needed them. And I'm not sure what she averages on the season. I have no idea, but I just, like I said, hope she understands that the 9 rebounds and the defense that she did play, it absolutely helped her team.
yes. But looking at the Rebels, 13 points for Weston. Morse had 13. Smith had 11. Pugmire had 11. Lundgren with 4 and McKinnon with 1. So a lot of scoring. But then, you know, you go to the Taviona Tires. Joy Gines, man, she just really hits big threes to
Do
keep.
you have stats
Yeah.
on Des News?
Yes. Are they not on
No,
MaxPrep?
Shani
Oh.
told me she didn't have access to Des News.
Well, I got them
Oh
here.
my gosh.
But yeah, Joy Gines, 15 points with 2 3-pointers, and the 2 threes that she made, it was kind of in those moments where the whole crowd was just like, oh man, please go in. And man, they'd go in and the crowd was just fired up.
And the Rebels were, it took her a minute to even get her first 3.
Yeah.
Because they knew exactly what they did not want her to do.
But, you know, Joy, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I've still had people ask me, when are you going to interview these girls, or when are you going to interview the boys of the coach? When we get our studio done, I promise we will. And we are watching you, girls and boys, I promise.
Yeah.
But Joy, you shoot the 3 so well. You know, especially for you only being a junior, it's nothing but up from here,
Right.
honestly, in her career. She plays so well. And then right behind her, Bella Gines, 13 points. And I thought Bella played her butt off in that game. She just was playing so good. She was driving to the rim, getting them contact plays. She hit 3 3-pointers. Just a great game from her as well. And like I said, she played really good defense.
Bella always does. I feel like, and you know, and no offense to the other girls, but I feel like Bella's probably the best defender on the team.
Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
another one that might be up there with her, but she's quick. She moves her feet well. Sometimes she gets stuck, you know, gets caught reaching. But when she sets her mind to it and moves her feet, she's pretty tough to get
And
around.
she's always up pressuring the ball, too.
Yeah.
So for her to still score this well, but she's playing that hard of defense, it shows you how much heart she has when she's in the game.
And she's only a sophomore,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I believe.
I
Yeah,
can't-
she's the same age as Swayze.
I can't
Yeah, Liz is a year older.
Okay. And then, yeah, you got, so then you got Kay Pippi, which one's that?
What number does it
Number
say?
1.
That's Chloe.
Okay, so Chloe Pippi came in with 5 points with 1 3-pointer. And then, and, you know, I love watching Chloe play, especially in the JV game. She really takes control, and she just plays way good.
One thing about Chloe that I noticed every single game, she has quick hands on defense. She has great ability to get her hand on a pass. She gets a lot of steals, and she just hustles.
Yeah. And, you know, for her only being a sophomore as well, it's nothing but up from here, I feel like, in her career as well. And then behind her, Elizabeth Gines had 4. Allred had 4, which I felt like that was a little bit of a slow night for them. I feel like they definitely can put up more numbers than that. But like I said, it was probably it's definitely the toughest game they've had with a lot of pressure for
and
sure.
Talia had a couple of open threes, just couldn't get them to fall.
Yeah.
You know, she did get a couple of shots, but
But yeah, I love watching her go at the rim and different things too, because Allred's is she's just so fast.
I like to watch her go left because
Yes.
very few girls, when they are well, not even girls, boys, when they are right hand dominant, they don't use their left hand a whole lot, and she is very good finishing with her left hand.
And then KP had 3 points, and like I said, another kind of slow night for Fabrizio.
You don't
She
have
only
rebounds?
I don't have rebounds.
Because I know KP had a handful of rebounds. She was working really hard on rebounds. Maybe the hardest I've seen her work yet on the rebounds. She just seemed to always be there, getting her hands on it. If she didn't get it, she was at least bobbling, knocking it out of their hand or something.
But like I said, Fabrizio, I feel like she's also a girl that can put up more numbers than 3 points because she's left-handed, but she's so good with it. Yeah. And then Hagman with 2, which also,
That's
yes,
a slow night for me.
very slow night for her. Even though, like we said, the Rebels, they are a big squad down there. But I think when they meet up next, if they can get them other players rolling just a little bit more, I do believe the Tigers could beat the Rich Rebels. But all out, that game was awesome to watch. I mean, it was great atmosphere because the Tiger fans were into it, the Rebels fans were into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt like just a good rivalry game, and it was awesome.
Well, I want to throw this at you about those two teams, the Rebels and the Tigers. So we've got 1 senior. The Rebels, from what I can see here, have 2.
Yeah, so it's going to be good games from here on out.
Maddie White
too.
and Paige Smith. From what I can see here, it's showing me that that's their only seniors. So for the rest of this year and next year, it's going to be battles between both of those two teams.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I definitely would say that's the game of the week. The next game I wanted to go over was Manila beat Tinnick. Oh, crap. Now I lost my thing. I hit something I shouldn't have.
Well, I'll do this real quick.
70-41. And the main reason I put this down was Castle Wall, 27 points with 2 3-pointers. She just had an awesome game.
And she's one of my top performers. She also had 11 rebounds and 6 assists.
Yeah, she's just been playing so well all season, just consistent with her numbers. And then behind her, Browning had 18 points with 2 3-pointers, and then Potter had 12 with 3 3-pointers, and Davis had 8, Gibson with 2, and Olsen with 1. And then on the Tinnick side, Snell. So I found out with Snell, she, I guess, loves volleyball. And so she plays on a traveling volleyball team is what I got word from.
Okay.
So when she's got her volleyball stuff going on, that's why
we didn't see her.
That's why she's not playing in some of the games, because I guess her passion is volleyball. So I just wanted to get that out.
Which makes sense because she's tall.
Yeah, and she's a good volleyball player. So, but yeah, Snell had 9 in that game. Farr had 9 in that game. Despain had 8. Condor with 7. Underwood with 5, and Carter with 1. So the next game I had down was Paiute beat Milford 51-37, and Randall had 18 points in that game. It's usually King that's usually been putting up a lot of the numbers, but Randall had 18 in that one. King had 13. K King, number 10, had 9. Randall had 6. Morgan with 3, and Westwood with 2. On Milford's end, Dalton had 16. McMullen had 11. Pechtel had 6. Williams with 2, and Beebe with 2.
So Acacia Dalton was one of my other top performances. With those 16 points, she had 16 rebounds.
And then the next game I wanted to go over was Escalante got them a good win against Monticello. And there was no stats for the Buckaroos, but we talked about this one player. She's a sophomore, Frey. She had 18 points in that game with 4 rebounds. She just, like I said, another player that's just been playing so consistent.
It seems like we talked about her last week, how she had 2 or 3 games in a row of around that 15 or so points.
She's definitely clicking, and for a sophomore, for 2 more years, she definitely can she can do it all from what it looks like. I mean, I haven't watched none of their games, but her stats have just been so consistent, so that's got to be telling us something. But yeah, in that game, she had 18. Orvin had 3. Holcomb had 4. Carlisle had 7, and Gardner had 11 in that game. So, but yeah, a good win for Escalante. The next game I had was Valley beat Monument Valley 56-51, which is a good win for Valley. In this game, Crofts was the high point scorer for the Buffaloes with 15 points. Jennings had 11, Anderson had 10, Cox had 9, Franklin with 6, Roundy with 3, and Bringeroff with 2. And then on the other side, for the Cougars, Hunt had 15, Cly had 14, Black Mountain with 12, and Cly had 7, and Atene had 3.
So Cox and Anderson, 9 and 10, you said. I know we talked last week about how a lot of times one of them scores pretty high, the other one just gets a few, but that game it sounds like they were pretty even.
Yeah. And then the next game, Tabiona beat Wendover. Looking at them stats, Giants had 11. Allred finally kind of must have got rolling. She had 11 as well. Bella, let me clarify that. Bella Giants had 11 with 3 3-pointers. Allred had 11 with 1 3-pointers. Fabrizio had 6. I believe that's Chloe Pippi had 5, Hagman with 5, Elizabeth Giants with 4, and Jenkins with 2. So
if it's number 1 on the Pippi, it's Chloe.
Yep, that's Chloe. And then on the other side, Du Bois had a great game. She was the high scorer with 11 points with 1 3-pointer. Stewart with 4. Hicks, slow night for her. She only had 3 points that game. And then Robles with 2 and Ramirez with 2. So, and then
Hicks going from 24 to what did you say?
To 3.
3, yeah, that's quite a swing.
And then the Rich Rebels beat the Miners 57-15. But I wanted to just point out this: Weston had 19 points with 3 3-pointers in that game. So that goes to show you, she may have had a little slower night against the Tigers, but then she bounces right back and puts up the numbers.
Well, and she still hit 3 threes against us, but I know she had 2 or 3 more that 9 out of 10 times go in.
Yeah,
she missed some open ones.
And then McKinnon had 12, Thornick with 7, Smith with 6, Pugmire with 4, Morse with 4, Scott with 3, and Taylor with 2. And then on the Tinnick end, like I said, it didn't look like Snell played in this game. So Despain had 5, Terry with 4, Farr had 3, Gal with 2, and Stenfeld with 1. So that was all the games I had wrote down.
So I have one more.
But I feel like Whitehorse.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I have one more top performer. Whitehorse played many farms. I'm not sure where they're from. But Kiara Martin had 33 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and she hit 6 threes in that game. So she had a really good game. I know... Gosh, I should have wrote down the score. I didn't. I'm 99% sure they won.
Yeah, that was one.
72-37. So they got it by quite a bit.
You're right.
But yeah, that's that. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. But I think that's all of my top performances.
But yeah, so I mean, there was a lot of games to go through this week. I mean, my brain has just been all over the place. So.
Man, I'm still let down. I really thought that 33 rebounds for that kid was the real deal. I'm going to be bummed about that all day.
April Fools, I guess.
A little bit early.
So looking at on the boys' end for the upcoming schedule, Whitehorse will play Escalante on Monday, which is tomorrow, which could be a good one.
That's the only boys' game tomorrow.
Yep. And then on Tuesday, Whitehorse will play Wayne. Dolores will play Monticello. Green River will play Monument Valley. On Wednesday, Dugway will play Telos. Water Canyon will play Panguitch. Paiute will play Wayne, which I think that will be a really good game.
Yeah, I think so. The records are very similar.
Milford will play Bryce Valley.
And Dugway's struggling. I'd like to see them get at least one win this year. They're sitting at 0-16 right now.
Yeah.
Need to get them at least one.
Thursday, St. Joseph will play Tabiona. Escalante will play Valley. Vanguard Academy will play Tinnick. And Pinnacle will play Whitehorse.
Who's Vanguard Academy?
I'm not sure. On Friday, Wendover will play Manila. Pinnacle will play Monument Valley. Telos will play Utah School for Deaf and Blind. Mount Vernon will play Dugway. Milford will play Whitehorse. Green River will play Monticello. Tabiona will play Rich. which we know that is going to be a dang good game. Or sorry, this is on the boys' side.
Well, we hope it's
but
a
I
good
hope
game.
it's a dang good game.
We hope it's a little better than down here.
But in Rich, we both know playing in Rich is very, very tough because their crowd is just one of the hardest crowds to play when you're going in there because they're just so loud, and like I said, their student body's just insane. They're just a good school that supports their programs for sure. On Saturday, Milford will play Monument Valley, Wendover will play Rich, Escalante will play Green River, Manila will play Altamont, and Tabiona will go and play Tinnick. So,
and I'm pretty certain on the girls' side, I know for us in Tabiona, the Rich and the Tinnick will be boys and girls.
But yeah, the Tabiona Tinnick game, I think it'll be another really good game to watch. So that's your boys' schedule for the coming week. Looking at the girls' side, on Monday, Whitehorse will play Escalante. That's the only game on Monday. On Tuesday, Milford will play Tinnick, Dolores will play Monticello, Green River will play Monument Valley, Whitehorse will play Wayne. On Thursday, St. Joe.
Before you move on real quick, the Whitehorse and Wayne, I mean, I know they're number 6 and number 2, but it's going to be at Wayne, it looks like, but their records are pretty similar. I mean, Whitehorse is 14-4, and Wayne is 14-2, so that could be
a really
good game. You know,
it'll be curious to see how they guard Martin on that one.
Yeah.
On Thursday, St. Joe will play Taviona, Pinnacle will play Whitehorse, Vanguard Academy will play Tinnick, Bryce Valley will play Water Canyon, Escalante will play Paiute, Milford will play Panguage, and Valley will play Wayne, which I believe that'll be another good girls game, Valley and Wayne.
And that'll be at Wayne too, so both their games this week are going to be home.
On Friday, Pinnacle will play Monument Valley, Lincoln County will play Water Canyon, Tabiona will play Rich. Now that's the game we know will probably be a really good one. So if you're going up to Rich to watch Tabiona play them,
we just might have to pack some bags and go watch the game and stop at Riley and Megan's and stay the night.
We'll see what we can put together.
Actually, that's a lie. We got to wire the studio Saturday, so that probably won't happen.
Wendover will play Manila. Green River will play Monticello. Valley will play Paiute, which I think that will be a good game as well. Saturday, Wendover will play Rich. Escalante will play Green River. Manila will play Altamont. And Tabiona will play Tinnick. So that's your upcoming schedule for boys and girls. So, like I said, another week of a lot of good games, and I'm gonna be definitely spending some time.
We'll have to try to. We say this every week, and it's so hard to do, but we'll have to try to get together and watch a couple of them.
For sure.
I know I've got Monday and Wednesday for junior high this week. I don't know. What do you have?
I haven't even looked at my schedule yet.
Probably the same. We usually play same day, opposite places, but yeah, we'll have to try to watch a couple games. But
so, did you have another memory?
No, I didn't even put one together. I just figured where those two were going to be on there. I did. If you've got one, go ahead.
I know we had one from Coach Gines, and I think it's good to talk about it now because he mentioned a coach in that one.
Yes, I forgot he said that. I'm glad
that's kind of the only reason I thought we could bring it up in this one, just because of the tragedy that Wayne's kind of been having to deal with, and from what it sounds like in Coach Gines' memory is he had a lot of respect for Coach Southwick. So if you want to read that,
sure. So he says, and again, this is from Coach Gines. He says, honoring my friend and coach, Greg Southwick. So the date was February 29th, 1996. Tabiona and Wayne were considered the best teams in 1A. Wayne ranked number 1, Tabiona ranked number 2. Both teams were upset in their region tournaments, setting up a first-round matchup that most considered the state championship game the first day of the tournament. The game was close throughout, trading basket for basket, several lead changes. In the end, Tabiona won 52-45. Wayne went on and won the consolation championship, and we played for the state championship but was beat by Paiute. Not a good memory, he says. However, Coach Southwick and myself became great friends. We have stayed in touch for many years. His career path took his coaching ability and athletic training abilities to other schools while I remained in Tabiona. Over the years, we have reminisced about coaching. His lovely wife, Robin Southwick, worked at Richfield High School, where many state tournaments were held. She always came out and greeted us with a hug and a smile. As I heard the news of Coach Southwick passing, my heart sank. Only 60 years old, had just retired, and had returned to Wayne High School as an assistant helping his son-in-law coach the Wayne Badgers. I want to express my deepest sympathy to the Southwick family and all of the community of Wayne County, and hope you can hold on to the wonderful memories you shared with Greg. Also, if the Tigers don't win state, I will be rooting for the Wayne Badgers to go all the way. Sincerely, Coach Giants. So, yes, I'm really glad you remembered that because I forgot. But it just goes to show you that, Southwick made an impression way beyond Wayne County.
Oh, definitely.
And it's cool to hear somebody like Coach Giants who coached against him, like as he stated in that 1996 game. And so thank you, Coach Giants, for sending that over and sharing that with us and with everybody else.
But yeah, with that, I know it was a little bit of a longer episode, but we appreciate everyone if you're listening to the entire thing. We want to thank Raleigh and Jason, like I said, very humble players, but we're so glad that they came on and told us a little bit about themselves. So with that, you have any more?
No, we will, tune in next week. We plan on having another guest. We're going to withhold the name for now. We'll make you wait. But yeah, we tune in for that. We will have someone else. And yeah, on that note, thank you guys for following us and the continued support. We're hearing more and more every week of, different people telling us that they listen. And like we said before, that's the only reason we wanted to do this, to give you guys an insight on 1A schools that we feel have always deserved recognition but just don't get it. So
yeah,
thank you.
And what's that email? Send us a memory,
oh, yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, send us your memories. It's I got two podcasts in my mind. It's the GD1A Sports Podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
I was about to rip off the email for the other one, but
so yeah, please send them in, guys. We love hearing the memories, and I guess with that, we'll.
And real quick, guys, if you forget the email, obviously you can always go back and replay it. But Dally has created an Instagram for us too, and it's the GD1A Sports Podcast, right?
Yep.
So look us up on Instagram, follow us on there. You can always message your memory through Instagram, or that email, the GD1A Sports Podcast at gmail.com.
So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good week. Thank you.
Are you ready? 3, 2,